Welcome back, everybody. On this Giving Tuesday, I just wanted to take a quick video for those of you who are new to our farm and show you guys something that a lot of other people would say is waste. So the animals are very close to 286. I don't sleep well when they're over here, but this hot wire above a decent field fence, that hot wire is reading 12,000 volts. So hopefully the cattle will not be clowns and jump it like last time, huh? Thank you. Anyway, this is the field we call the lambing field. We did a lot of work to push back honeysuckle. The field is now a ½ acre fenced in. It used to only be about a ¼ acre in the clearing inside that honeysuckle. But it's a really great field. It has a lot of purpose. It's small, very convenient to the house. The water point in this field is via hose, sloped entirely from the house. They will be back in here, according to the grazing plan. I want to say it's early or mid-February, when it is just disgusting in the rest of the farm. This has a whole lot of rock and gravel under it, I think from the construction of this bridge here. But one thing I want to point out, a lot of people will tell you you need to get your hay up off the ground or put it in a bale feeder, a ring feeder, because this is waste. Well, we've been trying to move the cattle and sheep. We have been failing, but with the idea that they have been in here in this exact field for 3 days now, you don't see a lick of hay anywhere. I see green, little tiny short bits of grass, but that is not enough to feed, especially these beeves that are supposed to be near finished. Some of them are still kind of thin, and I should not work on butchering them. But there are several that have a pretty good amount of fat deposit at their tail. So we need to make sure these guys stay pretty full. But anyway, if you look at this feeder we have rigged up, it is ghetto, yes. I put in 3 bales just in there this morning and another 4 around, and then I just threw out another 5 in addition to the grass that was in here. They've since devoured today. But if you notice that really dark brown circle, black almost, they really concentrate their impact when the hay is up in there, and we wasted very little. Yay, okay. That is a very short-sighted way of seeing it, and yes, if you waste very little, then you get more for your bottom line. Yes, the hay's off the ground, so there's fewer parasites. I get all that. I am not denying that. But this is very good hay that we looked into. They clean up almost every ounce of it. And when I throw out the flakes in the piles, I try to put it on spots that are a little bit thinner with the grass or completely bare, or where there's rock. Since we've been here for 5 years, we are actually seeing soil being built, not just healed, but we are seeing the depth of the soil, meaning the rocks are further and further from the surface. We are not shoving the rocks further down. That would be a miracle because there's rocks below them. This is how volcanic islands become covered in any bit of soil. I mean, you know, soil is built. Bad soil is healed, yes. That is the regenerative movement. But one point is that you need green growing grass with such high octane fertilizer as sheep and cow manure on top during the non-growing season. And then during the growing season, you have got to let it rest, graze it right before it goes to seed, and then pull the animals off for another 90, 95, 98% of the time. And that is how you can take the nutrients the animals are putting down. The grass, the microbiology, everything absorbs it, assimilates those nutrients into the soil itself. and then it gets deeper. And why am I focusing on this spot right here? This is where we had a massive overspray of glyphosate 2 years ago. And this year, despite, I never got any signs up, I'll admit, but despite getting on a so-called no spray list, our county maintenance crews just came along and sprayed more, either Roundup or 2,4-D or something. Well, if you notice what I'm looking at in the picture, there's exposed rocks. This whole piece was lush vegetation before they got afraid of a couple weeds on the outside of our fence. The drift, whether it was direct spray or rain that pulled the chemicals into our field, crushed the grass. And this used to be way more bare last year. Inside the field where we have active animal impact, where we have intense grazing and intense rest, it is coming back way faster than the stuff out here. Fine. Sorry about the traffic. There's nothing I can do. This is a very busy, very fast road. And if I had to pick a farm to buy again for livestock, the way we raise them, I would never, ever pick this location. But I digress. Feeding hay, especially if you're not cutting it on your own farm, is a way to bring new nutrients to the farm. Whether you waste the worst quality stuff that the animals are telling you they shouldn't eat anyway, or they eat everything, it goes through their inoculation system called the rumen and their other stomachs, and then it comes out the other end as a much better fertilizer. And then we'll move them to another piece of pasture. Hopefully they'll stay in. It is not field fenced, but we'll do the same thing. They're going to eat the grass day 1, day 2, it's probably gone. We'll feed hay. We'll get a lot of manure down, and we'll move to the next piece, and the next piece, and the next piece. We are not a nonprofit, so any money you guys send us isn't in any way tax deductible. But if you would like a nonprofit this Giving Tuesday to think of in this realm, the Savory Institute is doing things that this world needs more than they know. We're talking reversing desertification, and I mean, it's saving wildlife via grazing animals in all parts of the world, but including the hardest hit by climate change. So your impact donating to Savory Institute would help the rhinos and the elephants and zebra, wildebeest, so much. There's also Heifer International. They are a wonderful organization that you can sponsor a couple laying chickens, you can sponsor a milking goat, a couple meat animals for poor people around the world, and Heifer International matches up what breeds do best in those locales, and then works on educating the recipients of the gift on how to take care of them and everything else, so that they gain more independence and become wealth creators. It's another amazing organization. I've rambled on long enough. Hay on the ground, when used properly and not left too thick, is amazing soil building stuff. You guys take care.